Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good one. Welcome to episode 50, part 2 of Longtime Watcher, First Time Rider. I am, as always, your host and your longtime watcher, King Fats 95th. Joined, as always, by my wonderful group of first-time writers, which includes Action Shakespeare.
I did the Peggle 2 jump in my chair.
I'm proud of you, thank you. B Drops.
I didn't jump, but I'm refraining from eating chips.
I'm proud of you still. Iliendic Nanagan.
I forgot to take my medicine.
That boo.
Oh,
bad.
damn it!
You get minus points for that one, actually. And a very special guest for this one.
So I think I should get plus points.
All right, fine. Everybody remember to take your meds.
Take your meds,
especially our special guest for this episode, the wonderful, fantastic Wordsy.
I jumped over medicine.
Damn.
Do you got meds?
No.
You got meds
No, I
now.
shouldn't ask that. I'm done.
Yeah, I was gonna say. That's a little...
Bro, are you medicated?
private.
Bro, you got meds?
Yo, dog, you medicated?
Did you bring it up for the whole
Sublime?
class?
I'm filled with blood like the movie.
Yo, man, shout out to mental illness. If you're medicated, you're unmedicated, whatever you got going on, man. Anyway, we are going to be, speaking of medicated, we're going to be talking about Shin Kamen Rider. Not the prologue version, the new one that came out this year, because we all watched it, and we got some shit to say about it.
Boy, howdy.
But before we talk about that, we got to talk about the one thing we always talk about during Kamen Rider Ichigo, and that's the death count with our good friend B-Drops.
Oh, no, you can't do this to me.
No, I kid only as a joke because, boy, we did
Holy
a lot of
shit.
murders in this one.
Academic nightmares.
I'm gonna say
We,
at least
I-
80 murders.
Oh, man.
Maybe
That
around
auditorium
four.
had
Except
like,
for the auditorium.
80 at least.
Oh, for sure.
Wait, no,
people,
the
oh my
auditorium with all the copies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was way more than 80.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was minimal.
There was
yeah,
at
for
least
sure.
like 5 people in that.
each of those
chickens.
rows of seats were 7 by 10.
7
The numbers.
So 70, 140 to 10. All right, easy counting.
Easy numbers.
There's about 3 of them,
Yeah?
I think.
Yeah.
Look, it's been a minute.
Yeah,
It's been a little bit since I saw it.
There were so many of them.
There were a lot of people that
And
died
I
in
didn't
this
take
movie.
notes in the theater.
But that is not
I
at the
also
very
didn't.
beginning of the movie.
I secretly took a
No,
little
not
bit
by
of
any
notes.
means.
No.
You know what?
I guess.
do you
yes.
have you have an actual intro? Because I have something that could be used as something.
I
Okay.
kind of do, but it's
Alright,
not
no.
very intensive.
Go ahead.
Go for
For
it.
any of the uninitiated,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Shin Kamen Rider is part of the Shin series of films that have been directed by Hideaki Anno over the past several years. There's been a Shin Godzilla, there's been a Shin Ultraman. Has there been another one that I'm just forgetting
Shin
about?
Evangelion.
I think it's just Godzilla and Ultraman.
Evangelion
Okay.
is next to my
Yeah, I was going to say, I
knowledge.
don't
I
think
thought-
Shin
some kind of
Evangelion has come out yet, but it's going to.
I thought that was-
cinematic universe.
I thought that was I thought
Cinematic
Shin
universe.
Evangelion was 3.0 plus 1 or whatever.
Fuck if I know. Honestly,
yeah,
I
think
can
you're
look
that's
that
asking the
up.
wrong people.
In any case, this is a series of films he's directing, to our knowledge, with the intention of creating a sort of cinematic universe with all of these old Toku properties. We haven't quite hit the point where they're all converging yet, but we're getting little crumbs, I guess.
Yeah, I was
here
gonna
they're
say,
particularly here in
It's-
this movie.
It's hard to say that we're starting to set stuff up because we didn't. Like, really, the only things that we set up with Shin Ultraman and Shin Godzilla is that there might be another one.
Another one.
Yeah,
And then Shin Godzilla 2 got announced and then canceled, so
I
know.
did not know about that.
Also, you are right. I will say. Not a god.
oh,
This
Evangelion.
Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 thrice upon a time is also just known as, in Japanese,
Yeah.
Shin Evangelion.
Well, so there the fuck you go, I
It
guess.
annoyed me and made me confused when I was trying to watch the rebuild, so I
I
have
bet.
that in my brain.
I
What
bet.
a career! What a career Hideaki Anno has.
So yeah, I guess they're all together. He wants a cinematic universe or something. I remember that being distinctly stated,
They
That's the
announced
intention.
whole
We'll
thing.
see.
It's
like a crossover.
Yeah, it's like
It'll go.
Shin Japan Heroes or something. It's called.
I believe though. Yeah.
They had the commercial where they made a Megazord. It was fucking insane.
That
Is
sounds
that official?
incredible.
I thought that was
Yes,
a weird
that
fan
was,
thing.
that was real. That was
Alright,
real as
sir.
hell.
You know what? It's very silly. It looks like a genuine toku, and
Yeah,
for that
you
I
know?
am grateful.
Exactly. So yeah, not 100% sure how the Shin continuity plays into all of these as of just yet, but please be aware that it is extant.
I think I'm a little too aware that it's excellent because it made
Same.
me question the biggest holes of the movie.
That's very fair.
but then I got answers that are even more perplexing.
Well,
Yeah, that sounds about right for Kamen Rider.
yeah.
Ugh.
All right. Well,
Some of these answers I'm not thrilled about, but whatever.
perhaps we should lead into discussion so we can discuss them in depth and not vaguely.
In the bright side of things, the bright red side of things, even.
Yeah.
This film opens with just the bombastic, heart-shaking crush of skulls,
Yeah.
and it's great.
It's quite wonderful.
I was thinking about it as I throughout the week that I've watched it, and I'm like, this is such it's a unique experience to watch it in the theater, because in the theater it specifically follows my headcanon that the augmentations, the cyborgs, are so powerful that they just tear through people like paper. And so I'm thinking oh yeah, this is actually what it would sound like. You'd have a single punch and you'd stand next to them and it's oh god, I feel that punch in my chest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just that's so cool.
Yeah, it's supremely good.
Yeah, supremely good. Just watching the blood
Yeah.
splatter
It-
right after the
it's
PG-12.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Yeah, he just starts punching out all their blood.
Yeah.
Straight up meat sandwich. He punched out all my blood. This doesn't. It just goes from the jump.
Yep.
I feel like. Did we even get a title card? Is there a late game title card? I truly forget if it was just Shin Kamen Rider. All right, we're on a motorcycle. We're going.
I think it might have been exactly that. Yeah.
But
It says Jim Kamen Rider, and then we're in the middle of an abduction.
yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
Of course.
That's
Pretty much.
my
Um.
paper notes were. It's a little scribbly, but it was essentially, and fade into the most media res I've ever seen.
It never stops being media res.
Yeah. The
We never go back.
So res.
We have no time to go back, apparently, in our 2.5 hour movie.
God, there's so much in
it's-
this movie. It's ridiculous.
It's so fucking funny. And I truly just, I wasn't prepared. When I think all of us had a measure of expectation of, well, yeah, we know a Kamen Rider, but we also know modern filmmaking.
Yeah.
And there's
that noise stuff.
I think there's expectations that come with modern filmmaking that I certainly thought this was going to bring in, with a mix of toku. But no, it just went full toku from the jump. It straight up just did that first fucking shot of Kamen Rider from Ichigo.
Yeah. It did.
Sound effect and everything.
First shot, the first fight scene is
Yeah, it was the same fight scene except with a lot more blood.
That shit hyped me up from the moment that the car pulled up and I saw that we were in the same dam that first fight takes
Right.
place in. I was like, oh boy, here we go.
Oh,
Shot for shot remake of the first fight of the first episode. Oh baby.
was
Excuse
pretty
my
cool.
well,
language.
that's a little later, but yeah.
excuse my language, but throughout, I'd say most of this film, I had to keep myself from yelling in the theater, "Oh fuck yeah!"
Oh, I just did. There was like 6 people in my theater, and one of them was me, and like I was like,
It was a little more with mine.
I was cheering.
So. We're so surprised that
I
there wasn't
hope-
any cheering in my theater.
That's insane. Like,
was
I hope
so
anybody
quiet.
out there who saw this movie, I hope your theater was like a fucking pro wrestling match, because that's what that movie deserves.
Right?
True.
Ours wasn't a pro wrestling match. It was something would happen, and I would hear a smattering of "oh."
Yeah, yeah. Our theater was not silent, but it was not quite pro wrestling rowdy.
There was some laughs at the funny bits,
Mm-hmm.
but like truly not much fanfare, which was probably the biggest surprise. It was the part of the movie.
I just remembered this. I didn't even write it down. This initial chase scene, because we're talking about punching out all the blood. There is a brief motorcycle chase scene
Yeah.
on the road, being chased by 2 trucks, and truly delightfully, both trucks have a little spider web between them with a little prop spider.
Yeah.
I saw that shit immediately, and I was like gasping. I knew. I was like, oh, this movie is gonna be something.
Oh hell yeah, baby.
This is not gonna be a fucking Marvel movie. This shit's got roots.
And it respects the hell out of those roots.
It's gonna be for later. but
Shockingly so.
I do have one pick to knit with the movie about its Marvelness, because I disagree a little bit.
Well, in some areas.
Yeah, it's specifically one thing at the very end, but yeah. I edit these, and normally King Fats tells us what happens in the thing, and then discussion happens.
Yeah.
How are you doing that?
Yeah, listen, I had no intentions to try and do a shot for shot recap of this film. I didn't take any fucking notes. I was trying to pay attention.
Do you need a plot synopsis?
On Wikipedia, if you wish.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
I mean, I'm willing. I'll throw us down a plot synopsis if we want to do that. But well and truly, it was my intention for this to be a little more freeform.
Yeah, okay.
Because listen, if you want to know what happened in the movie, go watch it, please.
That's hard to do.
That's yeah,
Maybe
it's
by the
not the
time-
easiest.
maybe
But
by the time
yeah, who
this
knows?
is
Maybe by the
releasing,
time
it's
this is
on Blu-ray.
posted.
Yeah. It got a second theater thing, so I think they're gonna be pretty eager to be able to sell it to people.
I hope so.
Oh, this is like a plot ass synopsis as plot ass synopsis.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Like this isn't
it's
even a
lot of
blurb. This
text.
is like the whole thing.
It's a lot.
Don't have to
a
go
lot.
word by word if you
Yeah.
would like to use it. Of
Yeah,
course.
hit the beats.
I mean, fair enough. I was expecting something a little more succinct. I mean, I guess this first part will help well enough, just because it gives us our baseline. Motorcyclist Takeshi Hongo is captured by the Sustainable Happiness Organization with Computational Knowledge, Embedded Remodeling, or Shocker, a sinister organization that transforms humans into brainwashed synthetic animal hybrids known as augments or Augs.
I will say, for what it's worth, the movie takes, I feel like, 30 minutes to actually call it Shocker. I feel like this is some actual deep cut, like, fans actually stuff, because they started talking about, like, just directly talking about grasshopper augs and their adaptability, and just calling them the organization.
Yeah. I was very curious if we were going to go Shin Kamen Rider prologue with this and just never actually call it Shocker.
I feel like, well, I knew they weren't gonna, because it was on all the advertising material, but like they were sticking with it for so long that I have to think it's just like, they know, right? Surely this
Almost
is part of
assuredly.
surely they just it's like a playful implication that Shin Kamen Rider prologue was in fact the prologue of Shin Kamen Rider.
What a fucked up concept.
I know, right?
What a well and truly fucked concept.
I thought it was pretty cool.
No, it's great. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's good. It's fucked in all the right ways. Is what I will say. I guess I will continue jogging down this synopsis thing for a little bit. Hongo is transformed into Grasshopper Og 01, but is set free by Ruriko Midorikawa, a former Shocker member, before he is brainwashed. Shocker sends one of its executive agents, Spider Og, to retrieve them and briefly captures Ruriko, but she is saved by Hongo in his augmented suit.
And they head on over to the exposition shack.
Yeah.
So
It's a little place where you can learn the plot.
Truly.
the exposition shack honestly was nice. I liked it. Just because I think I was distracted by Hongo opening up his mask and you saw his like fucked up face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they were like talking about what was happening at the moment, and I was paying attention, but I was like, open your mask again. I want to see your face.
Yeah, show
do
me
it again. No, here's
show
the
me that
button to
mouth.
make you less fucked up. What? Why would it?
Why would you press that? Why would you even install one of those?
God. Also, just kicking the exposition shack and his fucked up face montage up with straight ripped 1971 Kamen Rider track with the spooky organ and everything. Oh, they used like at least 3 like authentic tracks from it.
It's so good.
The last thing I
beautiful.
expected.
I was so fucking happy that they used some of the actual original Kamen Rider show music for this movie. Because, well and truly did not expect to hear a single fucking track. And they were like, no.
That's bad music, G.
As for, like, Shin Godzilla used a lot of tracks from previous movies, so I was really happy to see that sort of spirit carried over with Shin Kamen Rider. It's just a joy to hear every single time. It's like
So good.
the horn started to just like... But, you know, fan service aside...
Of which there is a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the music specifically still, but...
Yeah.
Like, the music's actually pretty good. Like, god damn.
I think Kamen Rider Ichigo music was pretty groovy. Like, some of it is a little hokey, and this spooky organ not immune to that.
Yeah, true.
But it's still kind of hits for sure. Like, it's like
The OG
ooh,
Ichigo
no,
music
this
fucking
is-
rules.
This is spooky.
And there's the rearranges of it, and then, like, the unique tracks. Like, we were talking about Spider-Man, or Spider Og, as he's called in this film. And, like, his theme is great.
Spider-Man's theme rules.
God, it's so good.
It's the way they arrange music in this movie. There's a lot of callbacks to, you know, the 70s horns and drum fills and everything. I think a lot of people would recognize the taps, the jazz taps or whatever. Like that happens like right before Kamen Rider starts whipping an ass.
Yeah.
It's whenever like a song that I recognized from Ichigo popped up, I was really excited, but I was never like, it was never out of place because they also remix them very regularly with a lot more like there's some hip hop, some jazz stuff, whatever, but like it's the music in this movie is pretty good top to bottom, and much later on I was in a row with people who were all humming or singing along to a song that popped up at the end too, which was great. But they used music in this opening bit to kind of emphasize, okay, pay attention to this. Also, isn't this guy fucked up? Look how fucked up both these dudes are.
Both of these dudes are both fucked up and evil.
Yeah. Because the exposition shack, because it's Hongo and Ruriko, and then Ruriko's dad is there as well.
And
they're-
Dr. Midorikawa.
And they're like, listen, your whole zone's unfortunate now.
We fucking grasshoppered your zone, my
We
guy.
put bugs in you.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of prana?
Yes.
Well, you're about to.
Yeah, you're about to find out.
Oh, you had okay, cool. So you're full of it, but
Yeah.
So they kind of sort of did a very common mystifying a real life concept thing. But basically, to put it very, very, very reductively, prana is like the Hindu chi.
life energy.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the life
Yeah.
force.
They say they say that word a lot in Source Wrath.
The ether.
Yeah.
Yeah, please insert, your form of life force energy here. But yeah, that is what prana is. It is in us and it is around us.
Have we covered prana before? In something else?
Not
Am I
in
going
Kamen
crazy?
Rider.
I feel like
You're going crazy.
has this not come up? Not like I'm not saying like in Ichigo, but I feel like we saw something that used a prana and we like
Well and truly, there may be a Kamen Rider that has referenced prana before. None of the Kamen Riders I have watched have ever brought up prana. So that is the best source of reference I can give you. Is that in my long time watching, I have never heard prana before.
Fair enough.
yeah, the main thing is just it's just the Hindu thing.
Yes,
Just the
It's
we got a life force energy, and it can make you
bet-
into a cyborg.
I bet Dulcim knows about prana.
like the
Dalton definitely knows
cyborgs.
about prana.
The cyborgs make use of the prana, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
They're like
yeah, it's-
powered by it.
Yeah.
Every living thing has it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the force. But like
It's chi.
it's chi, it's the force, it's midichlorians.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I hate
everything
Star Wars.
everything
Damn, a scorching hot take from B Drops right at the top.
Me too. Hello to anybody listening from the
Star Wars.
thing I'm in. Anyways,
Oh,
Sorry, I don't actually hate Star Wars. It's just the gut reaction of having like actual spiritual beliefs immediately be sandwiched behind Star Wars.
yeah.
well, we're just saying functionally in the fiction. Not
Just-
not the actual product.
Is
It
the
is just
energies
functionally.
of a being.
Yeah, it is the same literary device as all of these
Yeah.
other things. It's
As-
chakra, it's the force, it's chi,
Whatever Final
it's
Fantasy VII
souls. Yeah, it's
had. Live stream. That's
Yeah,
the one.
it's live streamed. Yeah,
It's almost like this is a ancient
stands.
concept that a lot of people have attributed throughout culture.
Yeah, wild, huh?
like Indians.
But
Who defunct it anyway?
yeah,
In this case, it powers you and me and cyborgs.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
and most importantly, cyborgs.
But if our cyborgs in like crazy ways, because
Oh yeah, they utilize the shit out of it.
Oh yeah,
like because the first thing we see is in the shack is like yes, prana, and your whole zone's goofed now, but
You just gotta release it.
but listen, Grasshopper Og, you have to make sure, and I won't stress this, I'm not gonna draw this out. You really gotta be sure. And then Kumo Og pops in.
Whatever you do, make sure you.
yeah.
Sorry, had a bit of a thing in my throat. But you really gotta.
Cut low in the prime of his youth by our girl, our returning queen. Special effects plywood, where you at, baby?
In HD, she got a green screen and everything.
Talk about a glow up. You love to fucking see it, baby.
All the deaths are foam, except for those guys who died in a pile of blood.
Yeah, except for the people who get fucking squished.
All main characters get to be foam.
Yeah.
That is the way of life.
That's prana, baby.
Yeah, that's prana.
I don't know why they turn into bubbles, but
Because it's
It's so they can extract secrets from their
Yeah.
bodies.
Yeah, it is
sure.
a self-destruct mechanism.
it's just funny because like
It takes some form of foam.
because Kamen Rider and Kumo they fight each other, and like Kumo has like this cool like scene where like a second pair of arms come out and they look wet, and they're clearly not, but they just look wet to me. And
Moistened that CG.
they have this like crazy like complex fight scene where like there's like spider webs going out, and Kamen Rider's like oh, I don't know what to do. I've just gained super strength, and it ends and he defeats Kumo-og and he turns into bubbles, and then Rory and then Ruriko goes, yep, that's the way that shit ends.
Yeah.
You, me, him, bubbles. We're all destined to be. Okay.
We are born
So
by the bubbles, made men by the bubbles, cut low by
So-
the bubbles.
I'm thinking about it, and I'm jumping ahead conceptually, but
Please.
Shocker's whole stupid acronym is all about
Keep
sustaining
people happy.
happiness or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Sustainable happiness. Yeah. And throughout the movie, nothing technically disproves that that's their goal. They're just
This
full
is
of
true.
weird, fucked up robots and insane cyborgs that have a really weird definition of
what
happiness
happy
for
means.
society.
It's
It's
evil happiness, right? It's people will be happy if I control them and tell them what to do.
yeah, I mean, like the ones who actually demonstrated experiments. I get where they're coming from, right? It comes from very like fascists and terrible like ways of thinking, but it's like the idea is to take what's left and make it better in theory. On paper. It just requires killing a lot of people. I'm sorry.
Listen, sacrifices have to be made in the name of happiness.
But
I wouldn't
all-
mention if it was kind of just literally not described as this, but it is just happiness eugenics.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, 'cause,
Batman
like,
for sure.
There's definitely characters who are like, oh yeah, we need to destroy the people who can't be happy, so and then remake people who can, and it's like, niche.
Yeah. Turns out things. My main point of this is it feels like it was like a weird like eco-friendly way of disposing of their biggest technology. I know it's also like removal of all secrets, but it didn't like they didn't burn away, they don't explode,
Yeah,
they
they
don't hurt
don't.
anybody.
The fact that they
just
turn
melt.
into bubbles is yeah.
They just
no,
turn.
You make
they turn to
a very
ether
fair point.
and blow away into the wind to join the prana
Yeah.
amidst all of humanity. We also got Ruriko.
Ruriko.
There we go.
Who
She
is-
do- are you
who
happy?
says-
She does something in this one.
Oh my god!
She does a lot.
You have
Please,
no
go
idea
off,
how
Queen.
happy I am.
Go the fuck off.
But for now, I just want to point out how she says, "Hey, Hongo, did you know that when in the sentence she believed he lied is in the middle?"
Shut up.
Jesus Christ.
Shut up and fuck you and I hate you. And get off of my podcast and die.
Oh, also, I think we mentioned it before, but damn, they recreated the fucking dam scene.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
They
Down to- Shocker Monster getting into a normal ass car.
yeah.
I love so fucking hard.
I love watch Shocker Monster get in normal car.
It's so good.
Which
It's
is
my favorite thing.
I know this isn't about the prequel manga, but it's very funny to just consider him clean and get in normal car.
Sometimes you're in a normal car. What's she gonna do about it?
Listen, sometimes you gotta get, like, we can't all have weird spider cars. Sometimes you gotta just get a regular car.
He should have a Spider-Mobile.
That would have been all right.
It would have
It's
been
just
good.
the straight up Spider-Mobile from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
cinematic
no,
universe, goddamn.
True. Yeah, no, I was so happy that we recreated the Spider-Man fight from the first episode. That was so cool to me. And also, we made the shocker sticks make sense.
Yeah.
They have a reason now. They're like taser things.
Yeah.
Also, that the couple times I've been on the podcast, I've always talked about like what would happen if Kamen Rider was made today, and we got to see that. But
Yeah.
they
Turns out they make it the same.
well, they really sold like that he's just stupid strong.
Yeah.
Because he gets like shocked and tasered by all these dudes, and you see all like the electrical lines and stuff go over him. But he's like, I'm going to kill you all, and just powers out.
They really kept it to form of like classic Kamen Rider fight, like down to recreating this thing. I think this and the first fight were really the biggest proof of concept that there should be no more mook fights throughout the movie. He tears through them like paper, and they never send another normal human at him again, except for it's sort of in Batman's case.
Yeah.
And I guess Wasp Woman.
Yeah,
Very
Wasp Woman.
different cases. They aren't like supposed
they-
to be. They're acknowledged as cannon fodder, and it's a little fucked up.
They acknowledge them as cannon fodder, and then they also go, "We gotta leave. We can't murder these dudes."
Yeah,
listen,
I'm
I
done
can't-
murdering normal people.
I've done enough murders for one lifetime. We gotta go.
The end of this fight, it fucks Hongo up severely. He's like, I just killed like several men. Those men didn't dissolve. I punched out all their
Yeah.
blood, and they're dead.
Squished them like pancakes.
Hey, sometimes it's horrible to be a robot.
Sometimes it's horrible to be a robot, which was kind
Mariko's
of
like,
the,
couldn't be me.
kind of the proof of concept of Kamen Rider as a thing.
Right?
So very nice to see that coming back in a major way in this film.
He can't even comfort a crying child.
Can't even comfort a crying child.
Fats and B, when you guys watched 01, like they talked about like the transhumanism stuff more there, right?
A little bit. The transhumanism stuff in 01 is inherently different because it's less about people getting transformed into something else and is more, these are robots that we have made to look and act like people, and now
fuck,
where do you
literally.
draw the line?
I see. Okay. I mean, for sure. I mean, when you say they look and act like people, do they got feelings?
So this is a major plot point of the show.
Yeah, that tends
Is
to be the
correct
thesis.
answer of that. Yeah, is there are some people who are like, no, they don't have feelings, and then there are other people who are like, yes, they do have feelings.
There's no qualms about it that Takeshi
You
Hongo
decide,
has
viewer.
feelings, and he's very sad he killed a bunch of people.
Yeah,
He's
no,
incredibly sad.
He's explicitly so fucking sad that he did a bunch of murders.
Well, he doesn't get to be sad for long.
But he gets to be sad for long enough.
Yeah, he gets a healthy arc of it.
Well, no, I'm sorry. What I mean is, in the scene, he gets to be sad, and then it felt like no less than 5 minutes later, two suits come up and they're like, "Hey,
Well, yeah, next scene.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I appreciate it because Hongo gets his doubt arc. You know, he gets to go ham and then reflect on his actions. Because when he goes sicko mode, it makes him not care about the lives he is taking because it activates all the survival instincts at once.
Yeah.
Right.
But he gets to have his little chunk of the movie where he has to wrestle with that, but the plot gets to move forward while he does, which is great. I think
Love efficient storytelling.
you start to really appreciate that kind of thing more when you watch enough movies that don't.
Yeah, I can only imagine. No, yeah, I did like that they explicitly made it that it's not like, oh, you know, the helmet makes you fucked up and evil. They were like, no, it turns on all of your survival instincts and turns off your empathy so that you are cool with doing what you need to do to survive. And I like that they're willing to let Hongo be like, I don't like that. That sucks, actually.
Which is,
Why did you do that to me?
I know
mean,
this
he-
was just our
Go back.
characterization, but it was very interesting to like have that because
very different from how we characterize Hongo.
Ichigo Hongo was like, oh yes, let me use this two-headed coin. If it's heads, I gonna get to do the murder. It's just like...
Yeah. Our personal characterization of Ichigo Hongo was very bloodthirsty, and it is very interesting to see what is, if we're being quite honest, probably a more realistic response to what happened to him.
I mean, to
at the same
point,
time being like drawing more actual blood and being more gruesome. It's interesting.
To Shakespeare's point, you said, Reggie?
Oh, yeah. To Shakespeare's point, like, throughout the whole movie, he's choosing peaceful options where he can. Which is nice. he murders a bunch of people and then goes, Jesus, and then like actively chooses many times to leave or try and discuss something before violence must occur.
Yeah, it was definitely very cool to see like very real and legitimate kind of character change in Hongo, in that specific way, especially when compared to our original Ichigo Hongo, who was ready to just do crimes at a moment's notice.
Well,
desperate for them even.
Yeah, I was truly waiting for the "that's all I needed to hear" moment in Batman, and they didn't do it. And I was like, wow, they actually they really changed that up. I was like, stuff happened to that man's wing, and I was waiting for it. I was waiting for him to just jump up and rip that shit off.
I was too. I will admit that there was definitely a part of me that was a little bit sad that we didn't get Kuma getting his rings whipped off and then thrown off of the roof and exploding into blood on the camera.
Right?
But also at the same
of all
time,
the movies
like,
not to.
Yeah, really. But also at the same time, like in hindsight, I can't really be upset about it because it fits with the characterization that we have done of the character, that he wouldn't do that if he can afford not to.
And also how they killed him was a lot funnier.
Yes, it was.
I think that was one of the times where my theater was like got some like hype going, and I'm like, wow.
The juice was loose.
The juice was absolutely loose.
Oh,
we have Spooks talking to Ruriko.
Yeah.
I guess to backpedal a little bit.
A little bit,
yeah.
What we were talking about.
We got some nameless facelesses. They're in suits,
Yeah.
and they have broken into Ruriko's safe house.
You don't gotta know.
Yeah.
Gotta know what their names are.
It doesn't
Yeah, their
matter.
names aren't important.
What matters is you guys work for the government.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna get you signed up real quick, and it's gonna be official. Let's make no mistake about this.
Yeah.
The FBI is on the case.
Oh,
And your payment will be not being hunted down by the FBI. Doesn't that sound nice?
Yeah, alright.
And also, like, we'll try to protect you a little bit.
I think it might have got glossed over too, but Ruriko is also not a normal person.
Are you attempting to tell me she's some form of genetic freak?
She's not
Literally,
normal.
and she's not normal.
I forget, they kind of trickle in this information. They kind of
Yeah.
drop like a little bit of like, yeah, I'm not like a normal. I feel like she doesn't even refer to Midoriya as her father. I think she literally calls him creator.
Yes.
Which is, I think, your first big hint.
I think at first, there are definitely some times later on where she does refer to Midoriya as her father, but I do think
it gets more
initially...
personal later.
Yeah.
She puts on a very
character growth.
intentional cold front for her whole thing because she sees herself as a tool, a means to an end. Which man, this new Ruriko fucking rules.
She's pretty cool.
Go off, Queen. Talk about it. Tell us about it. Tell us your
the whole
thoughts.
movie is what I would be talking about.
I-
That's how much she does.
Yeah, this is true.
She has like the big wham moments that like your hero would get in an episode of Ichigo, right? Because when they're sworn in to become part of the shadow government, we love to cast spells. When they're
Oh shit.
when they're
Wizard Rider gang.
when they're sworn in, the first thing they're sent to do is go take care of Bat-Og, which is he's in a stadium. There's bat motif everywhere. I don't know how they set that up, but
Doing science.
and he's on stage doing science.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of robots. The robots set up as murals
It's true. It's so
while
good.
he did science.
But like they go to fight Bat-Og, and like I said this after like our group had watched the movie, but this movie is 4 episodes of Kamen Rider just without the opening and endings.
More or less.
And I would actually watch that short series because I think it'd be very fun. But
It's incredibly episodic.
But Ruriko is it's not just Hongo doesn't just get to beat up the Bat-Og. The Bat-Og gets the upper hand, is like, I'm gonna control you with smell, and then Ruriko's like, what if actually you're an idiot, and
And brings several guns.
and then shoots his wing with a shotgun.
Yeah.
What if you're an idiot? Plus, I have a double barrel shotgun.
Plus L plus ratio.
Yeah, I was gonna say
your
L
bolt.
ratio. I have a double barrel shotgun, and also a nifty plot device.
Yeah.
It's a secret tool that will be used later. What did it functionally do again? I actually never wrote down exactly.
So when Bat-Og was giving his big speech, he said, "I've made essentially bat smell that will make it will enslave people to make them, follow my orders. This will keep everybody happy by keeping them under somebody who's smart and in control." And Ruriko says, "I rewrote the scent." I made your smell different, dummy. And he goes,
Yeah.
"What?"
She has like a belt device that like she can integrate with prana, I believe is the idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the same kind of thing that's on Kamen Rider's belt that lets him like release his excess prana so he can stop being fucked up and evil.
It lets her, but it lets her specifically interact with prana systems.
I would imagine
Like some kind of prana hacker.
they look like the same device. I would imagine that Hongo's has the same functionality, but he's not.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
It connects to his helmet.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, good.
But yeah, I mean, it's just this mostly is what this is setting up. Is like, hey, Ruka has this thing.
Yes,
Where
She can hack
reprogram
prana.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Now she has a gun.
Prana hacker. She's in.
Also, just worth noting that the theatrics of Batman unmatched. The man
Truly unmatched.
The man dressed up minimum 210 people as Ruriko to fill an auditorium just to kill them instantly with one button. Just to make a point.
Yeah.
it's
Also,
a pretty funny scene.
not to mention just the actual actor's face acting. It's just so
It is so
good.
funny to look at. He's
My man-
constantly flapping.
Yeah. 1-800 are you flapping for sure. Bat-Og looks so weird, and it's such a choice, and in hindsight it rules. Actually, it's good and I love it. Like when I first saw the film, I was like, I think it's kind of weird. It's an interesting choice that they made Bat-Og look different than all of the other Ogs in the movie. And now I'm thinking about it again, and actually that was the correct choice, and it was good.
Yeah.
I remember Batman being fairly different from most Shocker designs himself, so
Yeah.
he keeps tradition at least.
Shit Dog, it sure does.
I did want to say, when I saw him in the movie, the only thing I could think of when he was at his little science station doing his little experiments was I wanted him to just be like, "Oh, Kamen Rider, welcome. Would you like a mint julep?"
Now I might just be a small town Bat-Og.
His whole look was just yelling at my face the entire time, but I couldn't laugh at it because I was like, no, they're sneaking in, and then a million Rorikos are behind them.
He got the fucking Doge Reavers for sure. Love to see it.
I truly love how Bat-Og is emblematic of Tokusatsu's like weird horror that it has, and then also its cheesiness. It's just great.
I mean, yeah.
Because conceptually that's horrifying, but in practice it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
The idea that he could do that to the entire populace is terrifying.
Yeah, right?
Oh yeah, the actual function of his bat poison is terrifying. It's scary.
But also, he's a goof-ass Batman.
But also, he's this goof-ass CG Batman who's constantly flapping around while talking at length. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like he's just saying quips and moving around. He is
Bro, my man is
standing there.
Mon of logging.
He's like that motherfucker from House of the Dead 2. He's about to tell you to suffer like G did.
Oh man. I don't think this is true, but I'm now thinking back to Kuga and the Batman there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also a pretty large ham, but that's just because he does like the ear flick thing.
Yeah. And his reactions to light.
And his nipple rings.
Yeah. We love our Batman on this podcast is really what we're trying to say.
They're pretty good.
They come in such a variety of flavors. Like, I understand this one has the closest link to the original, if only because, original Batman poisons epidemics.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the energy of all three is truly completely different. Aside from that, I guess they're all kind of huge jobbers. Is an important thing. But
He wasn't the biggest jobber of the film, and it makes me mad.
no, he wasn't actually. Yeah, I have things to be actually mad about in this movie.
The biggest jobber of the film was
We'll
insane.
get to that.
Was our number one rated dude.
I disagree.
Half of them, anyways.
The biggest jobber of the film was a lady that got off-screened.
Yeah,
No,
I was gonna say, to be fair, the biggest jobber of the film for some people is right up next.
No, she's the best part of the movie.
It's great. It's so dismissive, but no, but like they beat Bat-Og, and then immediately after they beat Bat-Og, like they Ruriko tells Hongo about the old man who was so rich that he was like, we gotta help people.
Right. We get the fucking backstory of this organization, and it's bonkers.
So if I got this right, a billionaire man was like, we want to lead everyone to happy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an AI, and I'm going to name it I. Yes.
Everyone said yes, sir. Congratulations.
I am responsible.
Yes. And then I was like, okay, we got to help people. Let's try and help as many people as possible. Impossible. Let's try and help the least happy people by like elevating them above people. Was the thought, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe that is the thesis.
And to do that, we will take the unhappy people, make them crazy super strong robots, and subjugate the rest of them.
It's so simple when he says. Also, I'm going to create a little butler man. His name is Jay, and now his name is K.
Yeah, now his name is Robot Detective K.
Yeah, for real.
Also, yeah, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in case you might have seen some things on the internet and were confused, yes, that's right, you heard right. Robot Detective K is just in this movie for some reason, he's a part of Shocker.
He's observing everything. He's
just chilling.
He's
big chilling,
expressing sadness when when a Shocker villain loses, and he tucks a flower in his
puts a little white flower in his lapel pocket. Yeah, love
he's
that.
Practicing
for him.
mourning.
It's so cute. Also, Ruriko is like, "Hey, Kay, what's up?"
Yeah, no, he's just an observer. Everybody's just like, "Hey, Kay, we all know Kay."
Yeah, listen,
he's
we're
cool.
all good with K.
He's not.
I know
doing
we're all
nothing.
playing dodgeball, but K is sitting on the corner and he's reading and he's watching us, and no one throw a ball at him. Okay?
Yeah, or I'll beat you up.
Yeah, seriously.
Just vibing.
He's just vibing, and we love that for him, honestly.
God.
Big ups, K.
Oh, after making K in these AIs, the billionaire also commits suicide. I don't
Yeah,
want
he
that
just-
to be
K attends to him shooting himself on the beach.
He's on the beach and just blots himself in the head.
I feel like there was a reasoning behind that I'm not recalling. Did he have some sort of
His work was
terminal
done.
illness, or... Oh, all right, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
I think he just said, "Fuck it, it's in your hands."
Yeah.
And K
Yeah,
and J.
he basically what I've done is not, I don't think it's reachable. It's in your hands, robot people I created.
Yeah.
And then they come to a different like understanding of their task.
So, I will say, I entirely forgot about the notion of Robot Detective K.
Oh,
And boy howdy, you're really adding a new layer of me going like, oh wow, yeah, why the fuck is this in here?
Yeah. Same.
They really did just
remember...
They
I
just
remember
also
seeing
put
some
Robot
stuff
Detective
on-
K into the Shin universe.
I remember seeing some stuff on Twitter when it first came out, like, for the Japanese release, of people talking about, like, is that
Huh?
Robot Inspector Detective K? And I remember seeing some screenshots, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's Robot Inspector Detective K. And
looks
yeah,
like
that is Robot Inspector Detective K. He's just in this movie for some reason.
He's Nick Fury.
A little bit. Yeah,
Oh,
that was
shit.
my biggest assumption of this whole notion. Because, jumping slightly ahead, because it becomes basically not important from this point forward, I and K functionally disappear from the movie from here on. K occasionally pops up. I is gone. I mean, the notion of I's mission in this situation is gone.
I's entire presence throughout the movie is entirely through its actions before the movie that led to all the shot, the Augs and all the shotgun guns
Yeah.
and everything. Like all of this is technically I's doing, but we no longer hear or see from I again.
Which is wild.
It's very interesting that our main antagonist is not plot relevant.
I'm gonna level with you here. I did read the prequel manga, just yesterday and today, and it doesn't really clear up why K is there or why I is there.
Perfect.
It's just, it's like, yeah, I guess there's a bit more of explanation for it, but also like still why.
Oh,
It's just.
before we get too far away from it, all throughout this movie, every time Hongo is like feeling big emotions, we get like a flashback of a guy on the ground, like clearly like bleeding out or after being attacked or something like that, which is important later. But it's, hey, this sad robot man is even sadder than you thought.
Yeah. This is well and truly a Kamen Rider in the modern sensibility in that they were like, let's up the sadness. Actually, let's really make this motherfucker as sad as we can get him. And
I guess it's a 100% improvement upon Hongo just having literally nothing, no background, no hobbies outside of motorcycling or anything, no ideals per se.
I mean,
He just had 600 IQ and a motorcycle.
he was
And a love of motorcycles.
My man's was thriving. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. He was just a bachelor in the 70s. No, now he's like now he has a thing. He has things in his life that affected him and drive him to push forward in the face of having powers to murder.
Fucked up, honestly. Couldn't be me.
A little bit.
Should we talk about Sasori? I feel like it's time to talk about Sasori.
Yeah, get in there.
Yeah.
So as Wordsy mentioned, this movie is basically just kind of the first 4 episodes of Kamen Rider stitched together. And so if you know anything about the first 4 episodes of Kamen Rider, you know the 3rd episode is Sasori Man, or Scorpion Man. And you know, obviously that means we're gonna have a Sasori in Shin Kamen Rider. And she is different than the thing that you experience in the Kamen Rider Ichigo TV show in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
She's so.
But
This movie grabbed me by the head and just started dragging me into a new zone.
she is the same in one very important way, and that is an extended fight scene with the Shocker Girls Kill Squad.
Yeah, they came back.
They fucking came back, baby, and they had
This
SWAT
fight scene-
shields and machine guns.
Fucking owned. This whole scene was so fucking good.
This whole bit
Like,
rules,
you say-
actually.
Like, you say she was done during Job Out. I think that scene ended perfectly. I think everything about the scene was perfect. This character is perfect. I love her and I want to marry her.
Listen,
I love her fucked up prehensile scorpion eye
hair.
patch.
Yeah.
Hair. Like,
Well, it was just like a scorpion on her face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was just a dude up there chilling.
he's constantly wiggling. She talks like an insane schoolgirl.
And she's
I mean,
giggling. And
is.
The localization was incredible.
truly something
Yikes,
special
spikes.
about her just yelling S to C as she just stabs people in the heart with both her
Yeah.
legs and feet.
Oh yeah, and she loved shouting ecstasy.
Yeah.
Wait, ecstasy.
The horniest scorpion you ever did see, and you love to see it, well and truly.
But like,
Would that she would have gotten Ryder kicked. I think she would have enjoyed that experience quite a bit.
She would have.
she was okay. So she's wheeling through so many cops, so many not cops, government folks, and then
Yeah.
and then it cuts to the two suits that have conscripted our heroes, and they goes, and she's been neutralized,
And we got her.
They just threw countless dudes at this woman until she went down. They sacrificed so many people to bring this single person down. It works.
They literally Zerg rush her ass and then go, GG's got him.
And she doesn't break it. She doesn't like. I think she gets one more yikes spikes in, and then it's just quiet.
Forgot about
That's how they know it.
spikes.
Yikes spikes.
Yikes spikes. Oh, fucking Sasori.
I need to own this movie just so I can rewatch Scorpion Woman over and over. It's just such a fun fucking scene, too.
It's
She's got
truly
some
delightful.
stuff in the prequel manga too. I won't go into it, but
She's
Oh, yeah, I guess I'll read it
she's
eventually.
displayed in a very
Oh,
interesting way
yeah.
in the prequel manga.
bro,
Reaching towards it. Fucking
So-
virtual
Slight-
insanity. Sliding.
You'll grab that manga.
can you switch to PE? I'm trying to kill her. Okay, there's just
Shit.
I'm not trying to talk about the manga too much, but there's just a scene in it where like Spider Og is like, "Excuse me, can we switch to a different class of training? I need to kill this woman." When talking to sorry, it's just-
Fan fucking tastic. I'm glad
He's
she
like-
is hated by literally everyone.
Yeah, they're doing a fucking English lesson, and he's like, "Can we switch to judo? Actually, I need to shut this woman up, perhaps permanently." It's so fucking good. Speaking of things that are so fucking good, fucking Waspog.
Yeah.
Everything about Waspog fucking rules.
B-Woman fans vindicate me.
Yeah,
I'm the only
B-Woman
one.
fans, you fucking
B-Woman
won out
fan.
huge. Yeah, B-Woman fan, you won out huge on this one for sure.
Thank you. it is undeniably 100% glow up.
Oh yeah.
Like,
A million% glow up.
I just have a dumb affection for B-Woman's stupid costume, and boy, did they give me what I wanted in the way I least expected.
They still had the targets.
Yeah.
That's insane.
She just only showed off one of them, like she's Zora on Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And I think that's very sexy of her, actually.
It's the coolest shit ever.
Like,
I love that. Oh, go ahead.
I was also just, this is surface level, easy to say, but like B-Woman's shtick, as we pointed out a million episodes ago, made no goddamn sense because all she really did was fence.
Yeah, true.
But boy, did they look at that and go,
we can
We
do
knew
more.
this better.
really fucking fenced. What if she really handled that blade?
What if she did Bushido?
Yeah.
And boy, did she bush it,
Yeah, I saw the swords on the wall and I was like, oh, there's gonna be a good scene coming up, isn't there?
Oh,
And the answer is yes.
the whole bee woman sequence. It's like the point in the movie where Hongo and Buriko are like kind of coming into their own as dog hunters, I guess.
Yeah, they start bonding as a team.
Yeah.
They start bonding. They like sneak. They're like, okay, we'll sneak in because we'll she has control of all these people in this city because she's a wasp. She's out of huge hive.
Yeah, remember the Wasp Woman plot from the Ichigo episode?
I sure do.
We're doing like the same thing, which I really appreciated.
Yeah,
But-
it was nice.
We're gonna sneak in. We're gonna break her mind control machine, and then we're gonna get her. Also, Hongo, this is my best friend Hiromi.
Yeah. Also, maybe we don't kill this one because she's like the only thing I've ever had that I could consider a friend, and it'd be cool if I didn't have to murder her. That'd be neat. That'd be dope. That'd be cool. That'd be neat.
Of all people to come back.
Of all the people
I
to
was
come
so
back,
happy.
Right?
Hiromi.
it was very good.
It's cool.
The entrance for
they-
Kamen Rider in this scene too.
It was kind of great.
Well, I guess before that,
Go for it.
this one feels the most like a TV show episode because they do this thing. They have this initial meeting
They failed.
because they fail at sneaking immediately because the whole town is controlled and they all just walk behind them and go, "Hey, step inside, please."
The scene of them realizing that she has that entire city brainwashed was so fucking choice.
Yeah.
because people.
I was
just
noticing
start
it pretty
following
early.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're paying attention, you notice it really early, but it's still just fucking, it rules.
But yes, they have their little confrontation first. And they get ready they do the quick change. She has her attendants do the quick change for her cyber suit.
that one's cool.
And they're like, "Oh, but hey, check it out. I have some mind controlled civilians. You're not gonna kill them, are you?" And Honga's like, No. No. And he just grabs Ruka and runs.
Jumps out of the window.
He just jumps out. And then so they have this little they collect themselves. They go camping for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You want some beans?
And where Ruka reveals her cyber eyes.
Yeah. And Hongo reveals that he used to go camping when he would take cross-country trips just because.
And Hongo goes, "I don't eat or drink anymore, Ruka."
My existence is pain, Ruka.
Oh damn, that sucks. Replies Rika.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, couldn't be me. I'm gonna eat all this. Yeah.
Chicken.
But yes, they go back for the confrontation on the rooftop where here's my issue. I cannot deny that this entrance is cool as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
As B-Woman goes, how it's just you alone. He's not gonna jump all the way up here.
Word.
Like, that'd be crazy. You're alone up here. This is a daring move. And she's like, yeah, whatever. And in airstrike drops
Yeah.
a Kamen Rider
Hongo goes,
doing
"Watch this
corkscrews.
idiot."
Just blows up
Here's
part
the
of this
thing.
hexagon building.
Fucking awesome, really. I can't deny it. What my first instinct and what I wish it was is she says, I mean, he's not going to jump all the way up here. Like, you're alone up here. And it should have been smash cut motorcycle riding up a building.
Yes.
Just
Yes, that would have been the time to play the original theme song.
and then just like backflipping off the surface, and you can still have your corkscrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not. No movie's perfect.
Exactly.
There's only so much budget for crazy CGI action sequences, so
I will be honest.
and they spent it on the rest of this fight.
True.
Well, no, there's some later on.
Well, yeah.
They spent most of it on the rest of this fight.
As much as I like the characterization of Hongo not wanting to kill people, I do really wish that we had gotten a Mook fight at this point, because as soon as I saw Hongo get a sword in his hands, I was like, oh, baby, here we go.
I was thinking in the theater, I'm just like, oh, you made a mistake. Oh,
You
goodness.
fucked up so bad.
Oh, no, I get
so
it. I get it. Ano knew that there probably wasn't going to be a death count, so there's no reason to put the sword in his hands.
True.
Thank you for
He
listening
listens.
to the podcast.
Appreciate it.
Hideki Anno.
Appreciate you, Anna. Yeah, big ups, man.
Yeah, big
Thank you
fan
for
of. I haven't seen most of your shit actually.
We appreciate
Big
you not
fan of
making me
Shin
do that.
Godzilla. That was a good one.
I gotta watch it.
I would recommend.
B, drops, as our resident Butler enjoyer, I am curious, what did you make of Wasp Bog's her duder, her little wasp butler man?
It's fine, I guess. He didn't really get to do much but die, which I guess is cool.
Fair enough.
I don't know. There's not a moment where you really truly get an impression that he's not brainwashed like everybody else. So
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
His biggest signifying factor is that when they're being followed, he's like, "Hello, if you would come right this way, the lady wants to talk to you," and he's all smoothish, but
He does get to do a sword fight. That was pretty neat.
but I mean, also somebody just shoots Biak, so it's cool.
Yeah, this is very true. She do get shot.
Wasp Bog.
That sword fight though is, I'd say, the coolest fight in the movie. I think that is the peak for me.
It's close. I don't think I am willing to give it the title of coolest fight of the movie, because there is another fight that happens soon after.
I don't know if I'd
think
call
I
that
like
one
a
as
bit more.
as cool.
I like
That
incredibly
is
fair.
my take. Like, I understand it's cool. Like, it's still rad. Like, but this is the one that I think made its biggest standalone impression.
Yeah,
to me.
that is
I have a question.
Man, maybe tied for the tunnel.
Tunnel's pretty good. What
Tunnel
was
was real good.
what was everybody's favorite action scene? Because I know mine.
Just overall favorite.
Yeah, if you're just thinking through the movie, what I
Okay.
guess what left its mark.
If I have to be honest, it's the very first fight with Kumog. Just
Yeah.
That's fair.
between being the remake of the original Spider-Man fight, plus the stuff that they actually did with Kumo-Og, because all of Kumo-Og's shit rules.
It's the reason I like
arms.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. No, so I've been a ride or die for Spider-Man since Ichigo episode 1, legitimately. And new Spider-Man did not disappoint in the goddamn slightest.
It's so cool.
What about you, Shakes? Oh,
I
sorry.
mean, I said mine.
Oh, fair enough. Non?
I think I need to save mine for later,
Okay.
Fair enough.
as we have yet to discuss it.
What say you, B? Is yours also one that potentially needs to be saved for a little bit later?
No, I hadn't really thought about it. I am potentially undecided. There are different things to appreciate about each of them. As
This
much
is
of
so
a
true.
non-answer as that is, I apologize.
No,
They're all very
you make
different.
such a valid point. Is the thing, yeah.
They're all very
Each
different.
each one is very different. Each one is unique in its own way, and they're all dope as hell. So not being able to just pick one is insanely fair. Words, are you able to speak of yours now, or
It's
yours
Kumarog.
one that yours is Kumarog as well?
Yeah, it's Gomog. I there's other there's other scenes I like as well. If only because they made me go, ooh, dang. But the Kumog scene, just the recreation, and then also like the new stuff, like the momentum and dragging like rocks and stuff out of the earth using spider webs and rebounding around was just cool.
Also, the shit with the arms.
Yeah.
So
Those arms are
supremely.
Yeah, no,
They're fucked
I was
up.
cheering in my brain for that.
And also Spider-Og going like, "Oh no, I'm not very good in the air."
That was the best part.
My advantage.
Oh no, I have a disadvantage in the air. And he just gets fucking Rider kicked.
Yeah.
How do you know? But yeah, Waspog's fight is nuts. Like, it is so pretty. They have this fucking crazy ass super speed CG sword fight that, like, I don't know, it's like it's kind of, I don't know if they did like lower frame rates for it. It almost, I think it was like lower frame rates.
It felt
It
like
might have
Everything looked that kind of like skittery, sketchy, like Spider-Verse kind of thing, where it almost looks like it's stop motion, like where
It
they
would certainly
weren't.
stand to reason.
it makes
It was-
each of the actions punch more. So I
Yeah, no,
think you're
it-
correct. Yeah.
To that point, yes, that style of animation really makes poses stand out more, and like almost every frame was its own individual pose. They were going so fast. It was, and they were just leaving like light trails as they did it. Sick as hell. Rip Waspog.
Yeah.
Done a little dirty
By the shadow government of all people.
by the shadow government. God damn them.
We thought you loved casting spells.
Yeah, it's
Well,
And you betray us like this?
We love taking
They cast-
we
They cast a
sorcery.
spell of kill Waspog.
Yeah. They cast power word gun.
Yeah.
It was gun plus scorpion.
Yeah, they
Well,
put
yeah,
a little
true.
piece of scorpion in it, and bam.
I cast
That's why
gun scorpion.
that's why Hongo can't fight it.
Also, a small amount of continuity that I appreciated, honestly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You won't be
We
able to
defeat-
shoot me. Shoot them.
Oh,
What are you gonna do?
shot
Shoot me with that gun?
The person who was
Words
shot.
of person who shot.
Yeah.
It was.
comment.
It wasn't. Yeah, no, because she gets shot, and then, like, right after that, we meet Ichiro.
Yep.
Yeah, and Ichiro's scary.
Ichiro's real spooky. And he's dressed up like a villain from a Chinese fantasy movie, and I love it.
And he's in a. He's
He's dancing. Every move
Yeah.
he does is a dance.
It's really cool.
Popping a squat in the cyborg throne.
Oh, the cyborg throne rules. It's so cool looking.
The cyborg throne is dope as hell, actually.
I'm full of
When he
pride.
like stands up from it, and like what I assume is like piranha strings just like dissipate. It's good stuff.
Mwah.
It's the Metal Gear Solid 4 dialysis machine.
It's like leaving a cocoon.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, butterfly imagery. It's not like we're gonna get that 10 times in a row. Admittedly, 3 times in a really fucking cool way.
It is.
But they kind of hammer it in.
But yeah,
Get it? He's the butterfly og. Do you get it?
I do.
Maybe.
But Ichiro shows up, and then Ruriko's like, I gotta make special science to stop him.
Ruriko silly moments.
I have to create science too.
And And then Ichiro does some Yu-Gi-Oh shit and sends people's souls to the Shadow Realm.
No, he sends their souls to the Dream Realm. It's a different place.
I'm sorry, Habitat Realm, Dream Realm.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, yeah, they sure sent a bunch of people's souls to the Shadow Realm, didn't they?
Which is
They sure did.
that's
It's
still a
just-
choice for sure in the movie that they decided to do.
You killed my mom, so you get to go to the Shadow Realm, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also it was
You'll all be happier there, probably. I don't know.
people were rightfully so also quick to point out, oh hey, this is the plot of Evangelion. Which is like, yeah. It
You know?
literally is.
Looks at directed by.
Yeah, you're so valid for that, Anno, actually.
It's like, I still like it, sure, but I can also be like, this wasn't in the original thing. This is an Anno original that of following his own tropes that he vibes with all the time.
This is a certified Anno original.
I mean, yeah, if it's in Shin Evangelion, all the better, because he's got to tie it all in.
Yeah.
No, I'm like that.
You better believe Shin Avengers is gonna go to the fucking Dream World
To
and
the
get
Dream
everybody's
World, fuck
souls
yeah.
back.
Shinvenger.
But there we go. There we go.
Da,
Okay.
da, da, da.
I figured out that Shin Godzilla 2 is gonna be like,
Iron Man 2.
Godzilla. No, it's like Godzilla Jr., but it's Shin Godzilla Jr. And it's like, Japan, you've killed my dad. So I'd like to make you all pay.
I want Godzilla Jr. to grab a microphone. Cut a promo in Japan.
You know, they say Al Kaiju created.
When Ultraman comes out. Oh my god, that's Ultraman's music!
He's got a steel chair!
Yeah, it's really big!
Look at comic
The
heroes
world's
and
largest
say
steel
this thing's
chair.
not true.
Wrestling reference checked off. Okay.
Secured.
Uh,
We got it in there.
It's a Toku.
Yeah.
Nobody's immune.
Half of it's wrestling references, well and truly.
there was a drop kick.
Built on it.
Yeah.
But, they meet Ichiro, he sends people to Shadow Realm, and then Hongo's like, I'll stop you. And then a second Kamen Rider shows up.
Yeah, and then the second Kamen Rider hits the Pentagon.
I knew about this because this was definitely in preview materials that I just didn't avoid because it was just like everybody's giving me glimpses.
Well, I tried.
I think it was in the trailer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I
it's in
tried to
the
avoid
trailer.
all of material for it. They replayed
I
the
should've.
trailers in the theater. So I'm like, well, okay. I guess
Whoops.
this is gonna happen.
That's funny. They didn't do it to mine, which is extra funny. They just decided to do that. Yeah. Yeah, no, this is just it. We said it was the first 4 episodes of Kamen Rider. It's more like the first 12.
A little bit, yeah.
or,
Plus extras.
I said it could be 4 episodes
no,
of like the
no, I
Kamen
know.
Rider show,
Fats said it was the first
I was the
4
one that
episodes
said
of Kamen
first
Rider,
4.
and it's like the first 6 and then skips to
it's-
12.
It is loosely
Like-
the first 4. It's they shimmy some shit around.
and everything that implies from a meta standpoint is actually true. as our beloved gay boy Hayato Ichimochi.
I
He's
love
back.
this Hayato. I love the guy they picked to play Hayato. He
It's
did
good.
such a fucking good job. He is so well written. I was like, yes, this feels like Hayato. I was so happy with him. I was so insanely happy with him.
Is the original Hayato shorter than Hongo?
You mean taller?
Taller? Is he? I don't. I thought he was shorter.
I think they might be the same height.
Okay,
about the same
because Hayato is noticeably taller than this Hongo, and
It's good.
vi-
I
vis-
love
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Tiny
do,
Hongo.
I do
Yeah.
kind of like it. Yeah, just as a way to differentiate them besides the suits.
Which-
also visually, when Kamen Rider 2 shows up and is bigger, better Kamen Rider,
Yeah, quite literally.
then breaks Kamen Rider's legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hongo's legs get broken, so Ichirochi has to take the center stage. And also, mysteriously, Ruriko's role in the plot now ceases to exist.
It becomes more passive.
Yeah,
No,
just
like-
a little bit.
I joke about this, and it's funny to me, just especially because it's like, oh, as soon as Hayato showed up, Ruriko gets fucking killed off. But like,
Listen,
it's still 1,000 times better because she got killed off.
yeah, like she gets legitimately killed off, which is significantly better, but also,
She doesn't.
Ano
just
is nothing if not faithful to the goddamn source material.
It's so funny how
He said
like,
once Hayato shows up, Ruriko must leave. This must become a homosexual film. And by
Gay
God,
boys
it did.
only.
Yeah. This one's for Pride, boy.
Happy Pride.
Happy fucking Pride, y'all.
I guess.
It's probably not gonna be by the time this comes out.
Almost assuredly.
Well,
Listen,
the
it's
past.
always Pride in our
Unless
hearts.
you make a really crazy release schedule right now.
let me get to work.
It's not gonna be
World's most buck wild release schedule.
5 episodes a day.
Yeah. And he's still so charming and fun written in this film. It's so
Yeah.
wonderful to see.
He's such a silly gay boy.
Yeah, like
He's such a silly gay boy. I love him.
we have gone in depth of that they are fighting at this point, right? Like, are we?
Yes.
I passed by it a little.
Ostensibly.
There's a fight scene here. Feel free to talk about it at length.
It has
Yeah.
one of my favorite moments in the series, and it might be my favorite fight scene in the movie. I'm not sure, but
It's very good.
just because of like the Hongo throws Hayato into the air, and then when they land back down, Hayato's like, you've got wind powers. You're using them against me. That's awesome. And he gives him a thumbs up, and it's just like,
Yeah. I love.
it's so good.
So, this is my favorite. This is basically my favorite variation of a mind control trope. It is where the mind control is only forcing their actions and to a degree their motivations, but everything about their personality is still intact. So he's just like, yeah, no, this is awesome. I love fighting you. We should have perfectly symmetrical violence for all day long if you don't want to die, and I don't want you to die because this is really fun and you're awesome.
Yeah, let's be friends.
I just want to fight.
Let's
you
be
forever.
friends who fight forever.
I don't care. I just want to fight you. You can't let them control you. Shut up. Fight. It's such a good scene. They do Dragon Ball Z fights and
Yeah,
They do
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z
Each
fights
other
while
into
jumping
the
a little bit.
they jump over buildings and stuff. Like watching for a long time. The grasshopper part of Kamen Rider was that he jump, right? He do big old jumps. This is the first time where I was like, "Ooh, these grasshopper robots are fighting," because they were like doing like long jumps and then fighting in midair and stuff. It was
Yeah.
Re-
To minimize property damage.
Yeah.
Even like that's what Hayato points out. It's like, oh, Hongo's a good boy.
Yeah.
You're a good boy. I like that.
You're
a
pretty good kid.
Yeah. Oh man.
They do a big old fight, and Ruriko's like watching because Ruriko and Hongo escaped from Ichijo.
Yeah,
Ichiro?
previously.
Yeah,
Ichiro?
Ichiro.
Yeah, Ichiro.
Yeah, Ichiro. They escaped from Ichiro, and then Kamen Rider 2 is like fight forever, da ba ba da da, and they do huge fights, and then Kamen Rider gets his fucking legs broken.
Yeah.
And Ruriko gets stabbed.
Yeah, surprise. We got a new Og. It's 2 Ogs.
Yeah.
They did our boy Chameleon Man the dirtiest way possible by turning him into half a man and all a jobber.
I'm also a gamer.
Mantis
And also a
Chameleon.
gamer.
And also
so
a
salty.
gamer. He's so salty about Kumo Senpai.
Oh man, my hyper source. Just, I hate this man so much.
He sucked ass. He was there for 2 things: to kill Ruriko and for Hayato to kill easily.
That truly makes it worse for me. Like if he didn't kill Rubiko, or if he was still that like bad of an antagonist, I would have been like, okay, whatever, jobber. But like, he kills Rubiko, and Rubiko's been so awesome this entire film, and it's just like, wow, this man, like,
Backstabs.
yeah, backstabbed by the stinkiest man in the cast. It's just
Without a doubt.
So his design, Mantis Chameleon, it screamed like the most original Kamen Rider to me because of like the crazy swirls and stuff.
yeah, for sure.
And
Half of it that was Chameleon Man. I was very excited.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it almost seems like a nod to Gel Shocker with, how it's kind of like
A little bit.
right down
A
the
little
middle
bit.
thing.
Extremely.
Yeah.
Also,
Gay shocker.
he had elbow blades because Mantis, but
It's
Yeah.
so bad.
Listen, I like Kama Chameleon, but I also like him explicitly because of how supremely bad he sucks.
Yeah.
I'm a chameleon.
And it's just like, I was so excited to see Chameleon Man or Kama Chameleon in this, and then it's just like, nah, he's the one thing that Ichigo did leagues better, just not even comparable kind of better. It makes me
Well,
salty.
the Chameleon Man half at least. I truly don't remember enough about Mantis Man to tell you for sure.
Mantis Man is a plus
if OG
0 to
Mantis
every
Man was-
aspect of everything, so it doesn't really matter.
That's fair.
Just like
Harsh.
it
Evens out.
Jesus Christ.
He was the betrayal storyline.
yeah, truly.
Wow. Betrayal.
Gotta have a betrayal arc.
Just like he stabbed Ruriko in the back, he also stabbed my heart in the back.
Oh.
Your heart has a back?
Yes.
Yours doesn't? Shakes out here with
Well,
a backless heart.
You could put your
Never
heart.
got me.
You could put your heart like in like, the wrong way, and thus has it back.
I suppose so.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
The scene here, Ruko's death. I think it was very good. Like I'm not happy about it, but like I think the way they handled it was fun and got me with Hongo trying to tend to her open wound with his red scarf.
There's a
And
line. Actually, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay, there's a line at the beginning which we glossed over, but it's the reason why in text why Hongo has a scarf is because Ruriko took it, wrapped it around, and was like, "Heroes always need to wear red or something, I guess. So you should wear red." And
She said he looked bad first, and then
Yeah.
Bro, your drip is horrendous. Check this out. Makes a pop.
I truly like the non-committalness of it. It's just like, they need a rare red or something, whatever. And then to have that come back of just like, see, I knew it looked good on you as Ruriko is dying, and like Hongo's like taking off his scarf and trying to wrap it around. I'm like, ow, that hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts
That shit
so
hurted.
much.
she
It's nuts.
she knighted both Kamen Riders.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was,
No,
it
I
was
think
nice
she
that she
says-
was there long enough for that.
I don't think it is as non-committal, but I believe she does say the a hero should wear red line
Again.
when she gives Hayato his scarf as well.
Yeah.
It's red suits a hero, I believe.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, red suits a hero.
Yeah. It is the signifier that you are no longer Shocker Maid.
Yeah.
You're no longer Grasshopper Rog. You are Kamen Rider.
Yeah, it is the scarf that makes you Kamen Rider.
And
which becomes plot relevant, actually.
Yes.
A little bit.
That very concept.
It's a really weird way.
actually, that makes sense now that I think about it. But it's also, weird.
Oh,
I mean, like, you know, it all fits in with the details provided. It's just like, I guess it does make you that, don't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, Ruka's gone. Hayata's here. It's sad, but it's definitely kind of the dark middle chapter that just starts getting kind of a, you know,
it's the fall.
Yeah.
it's the fall, but it's an upward trend from here, right?
Yes, because this is the catalyst that makes them go. That makes Hongo go, I'm gonna beat the shit out of everybody, and
Yeah.
and Hayato's
Yeah,
like, I'm
which is awesome.
out.
Yeah, that's I was just like, fuck this. And then goes, never mind. Pretty much immediately. 'Cause, you know what? Kicking their ass sounds pretty awesome.
They wanna fight.
I just don't want to be a tool of the government like you,
Yes.
idiot.
Oh,
I want to kick their ass, but I don't want to do it in a group. I'm a loner.
Okay, I'll
while
do it in a
he's
group.
feeling,
Anyways, now we're double riders.
Yeah.
It's
Honestly,
not-
very
there's-
in character for Hayata, all things considered.
Yeah.
while Hongo is like recovering from the loss of Ruriko, she put her last will inside of his helmet, right?
Yeah.
And she says, I couldn't fight my brother because his piranha is so huge, his number is ridiculous, and I made a special science that'll make him chill, and basically she drops the stone face facade, and it's like, hey Hongo, hanging out with you was cool, appreciate that. And it was, I'm paraphrasing, but like, I felt a lot of nice things during that scene.
It was good.
Yeah.
It's supremely good. Yeah, an excellent scene.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually gonna ask about that scene specifically, especially for Nanagon, who was so affected by it. Which would you say is the more painful? Ruriko dying and saying, "I knew the scarf suits you," or watching her will back afterwards and seeing her say, "That scarf suits you. I hope I get to tell you that in person."
Oh,
Because that shit hurted.
I think I have to, like, part of me, my logical side of me is like, oh, it's the death scene, but then watching the will back and just like like retracing it on my steps, I'm like, little shivers up my spine. I'm like, so it's got to be that. It's got to be the one that hurt it the most. And also, she's like, I think I finally have found my happiness is like being with you and helping people. And I'm just like, ow, my heart.
That shit, it was painful. It hurted me.
Shoutouts to a random Twitter user who's like, was saying that Shin Kamen Rider is peak Kamen Rider because it's a bunch of goofy tokusatsu nonsense, and it gets really sad halfway through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true facts. That's Kamen Rider right in a fucking nutshell.
Will I ever comfort a child?
Who knows?
I saw a fun thing pointed out
Mm-hmm.
as we get past this dip and start fucking revving our motorcycles uphill.
Yeah.
Someone pointed out that, so I made a joke about it before, but I will say now. In Shin Kamen Rider, Ruriko has this thing that she keeps bringing up, how the kanji for pain and happiness have a one-line difference. The pain kanji has 7 strokes, while happiness is 8. The first half of the movie depicts pain, but when Ichimonji, literally translated to straight line, is introduced, the movie feels brighter.
Huh.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's cool.
cinema.
That's good shit. Yeah.
Cinema.
Cinematography.
Thank you, Ellie, for bringing up that post. She saw it and is freaking out at me.
Yeah, that's fair. There's also the whole
Thank you, Ollie.
thing of like, I guess on a less subtle note, I suppose, or meta note, there's the whole thing of like Shocker's version of happiness is everyone else's version of despair, and I think that's good too.
It's happiness for a select few, which is obviously not good, but it's I think it's an interesting question that Mr. Billionaire posed, but it unfortunately the robot had access to the internet and then was like, actually, nah.
Yeah. What I have learned in all of my years of watching movies is if you're going to make a hyper-intelligent AI, don't let it go on Twitter.
Yeah.
Basically. Because it saw that some people were having a bad day and it was like, oh, okay, I'll give you a sword. And
yeah, here.
If humans are in so much pain, then why do they need to be human? Let's just change them to not humans.
Let's make it different.
Listen, I'm not saying that turning into some form of animal cyborg would solve all of my problems.
It would certainly solve some. Yeah.
Solve a handful.
Like I would. It's like, oh, you're scared to walk around at night in the big city? No, I'm a cyborg. I'm not going to be scared about that.
Yeah, I'm not scared of anything. People are scared to walk around me, and I love that. That's great, actually.
Neither of the cyborgs, neither Ichigo or Nigo are like particularly frightened. Like in the last scene, like it was, hey, I'm sad about this. I got you, bro. We'll go do this together. Is that 7 Kamen Riders?
Yeah.
Yeah, can't help but notice.
It was 9 Kamen Riders, and then they immediately take down a bunch of them, so it ends up being 7.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, truly 100% of Kamen Rider enjoyers can just agree. Hey, you remember that part where there was a bunch of fake Kamen Riders? Oh, you mean from the show? Oh, you mean from Shin Kamen Rider Spirits? Oh, you mean from the original manga? Yes.
Yes.
We're gonna also put that in this one. Yeah, okay. Why wouldn't we?
It is simply the most confirmed knowledge of all of the history of Kamen Rider, both as a show and as a media property, that the coolest part of Kamen Rider is when Kamen Riders start fighting Kamen Riders. Which is why there has been like 4 different seasons that are explicitly about Kamen Riders fighting other Kamen Riders.
I mean, it was
because
dope.
that shit rules.
It was dope. And these are like pure just robots. Like there's a moment they're on motorcycles in like a underpass, and they're like fighting on the motorcycles and stuff. And Hongo and Hayato are like whipping ass left, right, and center. But then one of the black Kamen Riders gets on their bike and like opens its mouth, and it's just a robot underneath.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, baby.
And it's such a cool fight scene. It made me think of The Matrix a bunch.
A little bit.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, it rules.
It made me think
There's
of Doom.
God.
Because like I think one of the Shocker Riders is disposed of by Hongo just ripping them in half.
Correct.
And I'm like,
hell yeah,
damn,
baby.
That's amazing. And
The part where they're putting heat on Hongo cannot be glossed over. How they all just like are like getting toward just going towards him in synchronized. Like he's trying to outmaneuver them, and they're all just like like zipping past. And they eventually like get him quartered and like make him spin out, and they just have him fully surrounded. And they're just circling him in perfect timing while one steps on his head and just unloads an entire clip into his head. And it all just sounds like fucking locusts.
I think that might be from the manga, which is
I would not be surprised.
fantastic.
That part was insane. You just see bike spinning around, and then it was one of like again, we're supposed to be on an upward trend, so I was expecting something to pop out and save the day, but man, was like, are they just gonna fill him full of lead? They did it to Scorpion Woman.
Yeah,
we can take it for a little bit.
I wouldn't be surprised.
they may in fact just off my boy.
I was thinking that they might.
Nah, not like that. That's
Yeah.
silly. Hayato's here. Now we're double riders.
Yeah,
It's time for double rider kick. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's
we
gonna
can't
happen,
not
and
make
it's-
that happen.
listen,
Crazy?
yeah, truly insanely important that in any sort of franchise that has multiple Kamen Riders, we have a double rider kick. It's necessary.
Yeah.
It's contractually obligated, I would go so far as to say.
Overall, 9 out of 10. They didn't do the rider wheel.
Yeah.
I
That's
thought he
so
was
fair.
okay. Real quick, back in the Kuma fight. When he was in the air and Kumog was like, it's bad. I'm in there, and he spun him in the air. I was like, is he gonna do the drill shoot? And
That would have been dope.
He kind of did a little bit.
kind of did. I just wanted him to say, "Fucking rider drill shoot."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I will admit I am kind of sad at the no announced rider attacks, and I am a little sad that we didn't see anything other than a rider kick. I would have liked a rider chop, a rider punch, a rider scissors. Would have liked, at least one other variant.
It happens. What you
Yeah,
gonna do?
it's what it is, I suppose. It's
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we get the double kick, and then immediately we get to see some cool dance fight.
Yeah.
It's
that fight. This final fight is really cool until it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know how in the minority I am. I think that final fight kind of grew increasingly whack.
my only problem with it was the big Marvel blue laser coming out of the chair.
Well.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay, cool. We're rocking up to the bad guy's throne, and ooh,
I don't remember what that
why
was
you have
for.
a big laser? It's the prana.
Was that for
in.
anything?
It's his prana chair. It's we have to break.
Yeah,
the
but like,
throne,
was
so we
the
can't-
was the laser doing a thing? Anything?
my supposition that it was just supplying the prana.
Okay, it was more of an inward laser. It was a funnel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Totally different.
you're right. I'm so sorry.
I could not remember that visual because the fucking wings stole the show on
Oh,
that.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like, I don't know, am I in the minority? Does this fight kind of seem to, like, really taper at a certain point?
No. I am in agreement with you. This fight starts off very cool and ends kind of whack, but not in a way where I'm entirely like. I'm not completely disappointed because I understand that the reason it ends kind of whack is for like plot and story purposes, but it does still end kind of whack.
I am a little frustrated with this plot now that I have read the manga more than when I watched the movie.
Oh, God.
Because if that stuff in the manga specifically with Ichiro was in the movie, it would have probably made the runtime like 30 minutes longer, but it would have contextualized so much of what I think would have been making that fight feel as much as it wanted to. And it makes me mad that we have those answers. It's just in the prequel material that is like kind of gets talked over. And like, okay, I can understand all of these character motivations now. Why were they not in the movie? Why were they not established in the movie? Why did it just keep going from that point? And it's just
Yeah. There's definitely not anything that would have prevented them from, like, obviously it would have been a significant amount of time to fit like the whole of the manga into the movie, but the relevant stuff they could have gotten in without any issue.
I think there's like 2 or 3 chapters of that manga that is like really relevant.
For sure.
And you could probably fit that in like 10 minutes if you really tried with this speed of this movie.
Yeah. Well and truly.
So, my issue is entirely with filmmaking.
Okay.
I don't give a damn about the actual character representations in this final fight. Like whatever, I got that much. But I don't know. I don't know if I just sound like a fucking moron. It's like, because I saw someone talking up this movie in general with no notes, and I was just like, did you see that last part? Like, that was weird. Like, and not in a, oh, it's so weird. It was in a, well, first of all, we get a sick ass intro to this fight. Like, this shit ruled, of just him doing it, Ichiro coming up and, taking off his funky robe, slipping on the scarf.
It's the white one.
The white scarf. Doing a henshin.
He's the only henshin.
With...
Is he the
What's
only
that?
henshin?
He is.
I thought Hayato
Or
henshin.
actually,
Yeah, Hayato.
okay, yeah,
That's like a whole thing about Hayato, is
I might
that
have
he
forgotten
can
this.
henshin, and Hongo needs wind, which I
Right, yeah,
did
yeah.
appreciate the differentiation.
That was cool.
But yes, no, he does his henshin with the big ass butterfly wings behind him.
Henshin.
In case you forgot,
Mwah.
and announces himself as Kamen Rider Zero.
Yeah,
That
he's
was so
the
hype.
fucking OG, baby.
It was
Yeah.
so hype. It was so hype.
yeah.
And then he just kind of starts hitting them with big flashy explosions for a while.
Which,
And
They're I forget what the actual fighting style is called. It's there's a Chinese fighting style,
Sure.
kind of like dancing and
Yeah.
spinning and stuff.
I-
That's what it reminded me of.
I'm with it. I'm with it there. Like, I'm with it there.
Yeah.
It's a little cutty. It's a little
little
super incredibly cutty. And just kind of do my cool move, flash, fly away, and yeah, sure, Toku. And just kind of carries on like that. And then they really stop putting that part of it in, and like he starts punching the blood out of them, which is pretty cool. Like that. It's
much more
like,
brutal.
all right, now it's getting raw as fuck. And then it just kind of turns into this Foleyless slap fight on the
It
ground,
becomes
and
very strange.
It becomes
It
a
becomes-
wrestling.
like, yeah, not even like and we're still cutting a lot. Like, this is supposed to be really action packed, but there's no energy or impact to it. It's so weirdly silent. And you could say that's a choice up until he does like one actual impact to the belt, to Hongo's belt, and it like goes like and makes a flash, and it's like, oh, the effects are back. Like, what happened? Like, it. I just it's so strange to me. Like, if it. So my interpretation of what is trying to be conveyed here, because it was like this exhausting, brutal match. It was knocked down, dragged out,
nothing
between the
left.
three of them, and yeah, neither side had anything left.
There's not even music left.
It just could like.
It could have been.
There's so many little things that
Yeah.
like little dials I would just to each individual action of these scenes to convey,
Yeah,
and maybe actually have actors like a wrestling someone to the ground while neither of you have the strength to do so. I think could be very powerful, but it happened very fast, and
They
it
fell
didn't
over.
feel like the grueling battle after I watched these two motherfuckers kill seven robots in a high-speed chase. I don't know why this turned into the end of MGS4. Like,
Yeah.
but not even as dramatic. And then the movie got some life back into it as Hayato called my shot and headbutted the fuck out of the dude.
Yeah.
I think
And I woke back up.
it would have been a lot better. Like, I didn't have too much problems with it because I got what they were trying to go for with this energy. But I think it would have been better if this was like the one place in the film where it's just like, no, you get a sustained shot of these people just like
Right?
slugging it out on the
That-
floor. Like,
That's
Yes.
all. Like, that alone would have made me like 50% higher.
like
Like, I would have only had half an issue with it,
Don't even,
and
like-
maybe not
Yeah.
even then.
probably don't even like focus on it too much. Just like do a long shot that lasts for like 5 minutes of the just like hitting each other and like falling down to the ground as like blood
Hitting and-
spurts.
Trying to hold and trying to strangle and trying to just claw. Like, the notion of a desperate struggle
Yeah.
can be accomplished so well, and it just was just like,
Especially
Yeah.
they're just
like,
rolling around.
if you take away the jump cuts, because a lot of this movie was very fast, so if this is the one
so
point where it's
jumpy.
just so slow,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be like, okay, this emphasizes that even more based on the filmmaking, and it'd be like, it'd be so good. But it was all right. I think it was
I-
good
so-
fight scene,
Yeah.
but
I have a question.
yeah,
Okay.
So the first part of the fight scene where Ichiro is like, it's cutting between him just whooping their ass. They're at both their asses individually. He's doing a move and then they get hit by it and get flung back, and that happens for like 30 seconds. And then after he because they break his chair, he doesn't have all the prana anymore, but he's still super strong. And then that transitions to them they're both bleeding very badly, and then it transfers to him wrestling a Kamen Rider for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm misremembering what they were cutting to during that scene, because I remember
It's not
watching them.
cutting too. It's just cuts.
Yeah, it's just like
It's
action
just like
cuts is the problem.
Angle.
Okay, I see
Like,
what you mean. Okay,
It's I hate it in a lot of action scenes, to be honest. But like, it was
It
just
can be-
felt like
it
the
can-
absolute wrong place to have a million cut action scene.
it can be a bit much. I think for the wrestling part, yeah, probably. I don't know, go to a wide and just hold on them struggling on one side of the frame while somebody is reaching for the helmet on the other side of the frame or something like that. Kind of desperate struggle is happening, but we're still reaching towards a goal. I don't know. It's something could have been done. I don't think I was bothered by it as much, but maybe that's just because I was like really impressed by Kamen Rider Zero, and the prior parts of the fight really, to me, sold that he was so ludicrously powerful that this was a desperate struggle just because they were not starting on equal footing.
and
Yeah.
Like, yeah, intention is not my issue. It is
Yeah,
just
this
execution.
film, yeah.
Yeah. This
Like,
is
I
definitely,
understand. I'm just.
I do.
I can definitely say at the time, like, watching it, my biggest issue with this fight probably was, at least this part of this fight, was probably the choreography. Because, like, I got what they were going for. I just think they could have done it better. The action was slow in, like, an awkward way, not in like in that deliberate, like, exhausted, like, this is all I've got in me sort of way. It just felt kind of weird to watch.
That was a little clunky at times, for sure.
Yeah.
But one of the things I do really appreciate with that fight scene is how they destroyed the chair. Because if we go way back to when we're going to the safe house of the film, you see the cyclone just like following behind. Because
I thought that was really cute.
yeah, it's adorable.
Right.
Um,
Automated cyclone.
And it's just like following Ichigo, like, or Hongo like a dog, and I love it. And then like you have this, at the end of the film, it's like, okay, well, we're gonna use these the cyclones, and then we're gonna bomb the chair. And it's really
and it makes
good
a big cool blue explosion.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I wonder the other fights where things were like a bit more frenetic. There's still a lot of cuts and stuff, but there were like in the actual punching kicking parts, there's usually like focus on the punching kicking for 10 seconds at a time. There was cuts and stuff, but there was much less than the last scene. Do you think because that fight was supposed to be slowed down, do you think like if they had the same editing for that fight in the rest of the movie, would the rest of the fights have been equally as hurt because they were just faster paced anyway?
Well, I think this fight was hurt by setting such a precedent. Like, man, it's like, I can already, I feel like I can already hear people going like, "Oh man, but don't you get it?" like this is Hideaki fucking Anno, man. He's the guy who held on a single frame of an Eva for like 1 minute straight. And like, of course it's awkward. It's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable, and it's like,
no, trust me, we
so.
Get it. We understand the concept.
Yeah,
but it could have been executed a lot better. There are probably examples we can all point to of like times it has been executed better.
You don't understand. It was poorly executed on purpose, Fats.
I don't think it was. Is the thing, my guy. Theoretical naysayer.
I don't know. I can hear these people. I can see them on the horizon. Like maybe not to us personally, but I feel like they're there. And I don't know if I fucking agree. I don't think.
I mean,
the thing is,
I guess. Go ahead.
Anno, everything I've seen him direct, when he does something that is quote bad unquote on purpose, it's on purpose, and this is a little too muddy, I think.
This one it's not very easy to tell that it's on purpose.
Yeah, it still has those like punches. Like the thing that truly makes me doubt it is it has those punches of like of style interjecting into it. like the belt punch and the big helmet headbutt. Like
crunch. Like
these are the set pieces of the fight that they had to work towards in the middle of this weird thing. And like, yeah, I don't know, like truly if I am the person workshopping a new way to do the scene, maybe like almost not entirely single shot, but my vision of this is absolutely long handheld sequences, real close. Not like really, really close, but close enough to convey intimacy. Because they are wrestling on the ground, trying like you could even go so far as just him like straddling and strangling Hongo, like shit like that. That's like the kind of thing. That's what you wrestle people to the ground for. You wrestle to put them down into submission for good. Like you could focus that back on the belt a bit. Like he could like have like one hand on Hongo's throat and like one just like gripping the belt and crunching it in with the last reserves of his strength. Shit like that. Like just you could do these things. You just gotta do those things. It's easy said from the outside.
Yeah, for sure. Although
every time I want to make critiques, I go like, "Oh well, easy for me to fucking say. Why don't you do it?"
I don't think I'm as down in the fight as you might be, but I think the entirety of that scene is probably why it's the fight is one thing, but it leads to Ichiro having to wear Hongo's helmet because the code that Ruko put in there. So it was all of that awkwardness was leading to a very sweet moment, which I probably works without the fight scene still, but I enjoyed it. I'll like overall, it's I don't think it hurt the rest of the scene personally, but hey, that's.
So as one of the few people who's kind of at least slightly more on your side, I definitely agree that I don't think the weirdness of this scene hurt it per se. I think the big issue is that it didn't help it either.
Interesting.
Right? Like the scene was not made better because it was filmed the way it was. And I think it is very easy to theorize ways you could have refilmed the scene that would have made it better.
I understand, and I'm gonna edit this so everybody agrees with me. But
I'm glad. I agree with you, Words.
Yeah, same here.
thank you, Shakes.
Damn, Words, you're right. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's cool.
But no, it was that last scene effectively brutal enough, and then it leads to, you know, hey, welcome to the light shadow realm, brother.
I think that scene. The last thing I'll say about it, I think it is a very good platform to get creative people to argue.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hey,
I wonder how many people would like. Yeah, I mean us alone, but like if you showed that in a film class, I wonder how divided it truly would be.
different sensibilities, right? Because like your idea of the scene is something closer, more intimate, and my idea of the scene is further away. I want the violence to be probably also very stylized and like big red color in the background. But I would want there to be like just the violence to be emphasized via silhouette.
Yeah, for sure.
That that is a way to potentially do it. That might actually be better than necessarily what we got.
But yeah, I would just love to be in a room of a film of a film course.
Mm-hmm.
Just I want to hear a whole argument of people who want to do this for a living.
Mm-hmm.
Argue their point on why they think for or against with no right answer.
Right.
I want everybody to just present subjectivity from the point of view of people who want to really
do this
that
sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
No, for sure.
Because I find that fascinating. I find artist viewpoints. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I mean, this conversation I think is fascinating. Multiple different perspectives. I think it's cool.
I wasn't sure. The four people in front of me were fucking hated that scene.
Really?
And I was like, I don't fully disagree, but I feel like I might have different problems.
Yeah, not quite as down on it.
I am so.
I just have a feeling.
Did they hate the soul part, or did they hate the fight part?
I think they just said that whole last scene was whack.
Come on.
Or no, like the last fight scene was whack. Like,
Okay,
I don't think
'cause
they were like, because the rest of it's fucking Kamen Rider. Of course it's weird. And
Yeah.
goofy.
I guess I thought it was really touching because, like, they put the thing on and then they're so exhausted, all their prana's gone, and then oh no, all your prana's gone. That means he's already turning into bubbles. And it's
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
see-
like them man. Hongo gets full ass dead.
we
Full
saw
ass bubbled.
Yeah.
Hongo dies when he becomes bubbles, and then
And his scarf turns to bubbles.
which is
weird.
crazy.
Weird to think about.
I thought this scarf very explicitly did
Oh,
not
wait.
turn to bubbles.
No, it did.
I thought it was
all-
maybe it's
all
his
of him
helmet.
Because Hayato grabbed his own.
His helmet did not,
His helmet did not.
Ah.
because Hayato gets the helmet refurbished, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
because the government dudes walk up to Hayato after that and they're like, "Yo, that was crazy." Anyway, you wanna stop tracker stuff? And he
There's
goes,
still a thing. I is still alive. Remember I.
Yeah.
Sequels, baby. Let's go.
You love to establish a sequel.
Also, do you want to know our names, by the way?
Bet you didn't guess.
I'm Tachibana, and that there is your husband.
Yes.
It's Taki. Hey, Taki.
Fuego. God. Yeah, I definitely called the shot for sure of like, oh yeah, that's Taki. I really didn't. I don't know why I didn't think they might not have just gone there and made that guy Tachibana, but I don't know why I would have thought otherwise in retrospect.
I wish he had an Action Club pin or something.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I was not even thinking about it. My brain was kind of just like, all right, and Tachibana and Taki just aren't going to be in this one. That makes sense. That's fair.
You're a fucking rube. They got you.
I'm a fucking mark.
Look at this guy. What a mark.
Like,
I was sad that there was no Goro, but I understand why there's no Goro.
Listen, they're
Maybe in the
saving Goro
sequel.
for the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, Goro and Mari are gonna whip ass. The whole Rider
They're gonna
girls are
fucking
gonna be
rule.
there.
Oh, did anybody else catch that they put Ruriko's soul in a spot? They like just got that in a jar somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also Hongo. It's me, boy, the Hongo that lives in your mind.
You're right.
You don't need her, boy. As he rides into the sunset.
We're Kamen Rider number 2+1.
Yeah. That was
It's
cool.
almost like a Kamen Rider 3 of some kind.
Nah, that's next time.
Last one.
and despite like the imperfections that this movie definitely has, I think stepping away from it, 100%, I can just be like, yeah, no, this was a enjoyable experience through and through.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently that's kind of a like divisive opinion.
Is it?
Well, because apparently it's getting like 6s, and I'm like,
From who?
I remember hearing a lot of high praise
has,
when
like,
it first came
6
out.
on IMDb, so I guess maybe that's the issue right there. But I'm just like, how are you gonna go to a Kamen Rider movie and be like, no, this is a 6 out of 10 Kamen Rider experience? Like, is it?
Oh, yeah,
I think the unfortunate thing is that a lot of people in America still don't know what the hell Kamen Rider is.
Rider really is, yeah.
I told all of my roommates about Kamen Rider, and they were like, "What, a karate bug man?" And I was like, "No, you don't understand. He it's tight. He can't touch a child, and it makes him very sad." And then I was like, "No, wait, he can't comfort the child." And then I started to explain different shocker like kaijin to them, and then they were like, "What do you watch in your room?"
Your roommates weren't on board with Kamen Rider?
They were after they thought it was very funny that he was like, "I can't comfort a child." They think it's his tragedy is very funny, but
His tragedy is kind of funny.
It's a little, because that's the same episode with the.
Yeah.
So, you gotta take the good and the bad in that.
Yeah, you take the moon and you take the sun. I'm kind of not like, as much as I did say that, I only heard like positive things when it first released in Japan. I will admit I am kind of not surprised that reviews might be middling. I had the weird experience of pretty much throughout the entire duration of watching the film, I was like, I don't know if this movie's good or not. I don't know if I like this or not. And then it ended, and I was like, no, actually, that ruled. That was fucking awesome. I have no idea what I was talking about.
No, I
think
get you.
I think these films you expect some kind of gimmick, but this film was just way too gimmicky for me. I had to stop after 30 minutes. Plot was predictable. You can tell fight scenes were poorly choreographed, and there's way too many cutscenes between. Even the original series had better fight choreography and was shot with one take.
No.
Kamen Rider was
What?
practically One Punch Man the entire film.
Okay. No, stop this. Stop this right now. I need you to stop this right this second. Close that fucking tab.
Hey, Shades,
I'm not hearing any more of
we're
this
not,
fucking...
Yeah, we're not doing
No,
this segment.
I'm
on,
not hearing
on
these
this
people
podcast.
talk.
Okay.
Oh,
You can do your own podcast about bad takes.
That was brutal.
Oh, there's one that I everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I think there's one opinion that you're not allowed to have, and that is it has too much CGI.
There's
True.
a lot of practical effects in this.
It's a fun mix. It's an insane amount of practical.
It's
but
a
it's
lot
also
of practical. It's a lot of CGI,
very silly CGI.
but also it's tokusatsu. So
Yeah, it's like,
huh?
I don't know what the fuck you're expecting. Like, if you really expected this to be pure practical or pure CGI, you have clearly not watched any toku made within the last 20 years.
I don't think they've seen a single toku in their life outside of Power Rangers in the 90s. Like, that is...
You know, that might be the problem.
Like, that's the thing. I don't fucking expect even anime fans to fucking get toku. Like, if you're not already in it, like, this is not... This Kamen Rider was never intended to be your gateway drug. Truly.
Yeah, if you have never experienced toku in any way, shape, or form, Shin Kamen Rider is not your gateway drug.
However,
This is the real stuff.
I have a counterpoint for this.
You gotta have been riding that dragon for a while. What's your counterpoint, Non?
So I was originally going to go with my brother to see Shin Kamen Rider. However,
yes, this.
yeah. However, he wasn't feeling good that day, so my mother took his ticket. And my mother has never seen Toku beyond like the Power Rangers, and is not a fan of violent action movies or a lot of loud like combat scenes. And yet she walked out of the theater being like, "I enjoyed that thoroughly." It makes me want to see more.
I don't think... You know, it's not like... Nothing on the surface is impenetrable, like, to its... It's just a vibe that, like... It's a media vibe that a lot of people just have not chosen to continue to accept. I took someone who didn't know Kamen Rider at all. They had a good time. Like, it's still a fun movie. Like, it's fucking crazy nonsense, but it's a fun movie. Like, but yeah, it's just truly the experience, at the risk of us all truly sounding like Toku elitists. The experience of Toku. Boy, this ain't the entry drug.
Yeah, no,
By any
this
means.
is not where you want to start.
In fairness, I think the Shin series is not an entry point to anything of...
No,
like,
not remotely.
You're not gonna watch Shin Evangelion and be like, "Yes, I see now. I see what Evangelion is about." Like,
Listen,
Hey,
as someone who has barely
No.
watched any Ultraman and saw Shin Ultraman before, what little Ultraman he watched, yeah, you're not gonna. It's not a good entry point whatsoever. But if you are inundated, even a little bit, and then you go check out this flick, you are probably going to have a good ass time.
I had a good time. It was a good movie. I really liked all of it.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I am extremely looking forward to whatever it is they do with a sequel, because they very heavily set up a sequel, and I'm all down for that, baby.
I read Ono said he was taking a break from making a sequel because he's been making movies nonstop for 30 years.
insane.
Yeah, no, that's fair. My man has been fucking busy.
Yeah, take a vacation. You made 4 fucking Toku movies. You made 3 Toku movies and an Eva movie. Like, what do you... Go sleep.
Yeah. Take a nap, my guy.
Sounds hard.
Speaking of taking naps, does anyone else have any final closing thoughts before we go all take a nap?
Good movie. Really cool way to reimagine Kamen Rider, like Ichigo, and bring in more bring in like more ideas and vision from a director who's made a lot of really cool stuff. I'm honestly really excited to see whatever the next Shin thing is, whether it's the crossover or if it's just more the second Kamen Rider thing. It's all been cool, and I think I do want to definitely go watch this again.
Yeah.
Oh,
likewise.
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I need to show it to my brother next time. I think he's gonna lose his mind.
Yeah, it is a quality film. Yeah, like it's at this point it's hard, especially because we just spent 2 hours talking about it. But it's hard to really have anything more to say than just damn, that was a good movie.
Yeah. A lot of our opinions were just like, damn, this was good, this was awesome, this was rad. And that's just because like it's such a vibe. It's
that I truly like. I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but like what little that I maybe don't agree with in this film is far outweighed by what in this film is just supremely choice.
It doesn't need to be like the 10 out of 10 because of it's just a good time.
Yeah. And that's really all you're kind of looking for Toku, especially old Toku.
Mm-hmm.
I think the notion of this being, because, this is sold as, and we all approached it as, a reimagining, which is not untrue, but I think that does slightly undermine that that almost carries an implication of like, what if it redone? It's like, no, this thing was absolutely just a labor of love to the original Kamen Rider is mostly what it was. Like, and then we threw in some weird new shit, but otherwise, we just love Kamen Rider.
Hideaki Anno got to make his
Bugman
fan fiction, and it's wonderful.
Truly.
Love that for him, honestly.
Yeah, no, I'm saying this with 100% endearment. I think it's so within the spirit of, tokusatsu and just, remakes in general, and I love it.
I think it's in the spirit of tokusatsu fandom too, really, truthfully. Like, as cool as the notion of, like, being able to, like, I don't know, make my own Kamen Rider or make my own Sentai is, truly the goal, the wish, the hope is to just be able to be handed the keys to a toku that I already like, whatever my favorite season of Kamen Rider is, and just be told, yeah, do whatever you want, man. Go nuts. Have fun with it.
Yeah. Like, the fact that, like, I think some of the first films Hideaki Anno made when he was still in, like, film school or something, was, like, a Ultraman fan film. And to see that come all around with, Shin Ultraman and then extending to the other Shin series, it's just delightful.
Yeah. Big ups to Anno out there fucking truly living the dream.
Wish you a very vacation now, though.
Yeah. We wish you a very vacation, and we look forward to whatever it is that you do next. I think that's going to do it for us here on this special 50th anniversary part 2 episode of Longtime Watcher, First Time Writer. We hope that you enjoyed. We will see you for the next episode, where we are going to get back to talking about old Kamen Rider Kuga, which we hope that you will enjoy. You know all of the fun places where you can follow us and all of the cool stuff that you can check out. Check out these people's various streams, commission the people who are available for commissions, join the Patreons of the people who have Patreons, and check out Tales of Harbor, all that good stuff. And of course, as always, remember, if you can't believe in God and you can't believe in Buddha, you can always believe in Kamen Rider.